This is the plan of President William Ruto. Come 2027, have the Mount Kenya votes being isolated, Mount Kenya people being isolated, and the rest of the communities voting against the Mount Kenya people. I get what I'm talking about here. So William Ruto is trying to brand himself the darling of the rest of the communities except the Mount Kenya people. That's why you're hearing the sentiments like broad-based government, a united country. Was the country not united before? The country has been united than ever before. We've been going to the streets to campaign against Finance Bill 2024 as a nation. We were united. It's only that we are not united under William Ruto. We are not united to support William Ruto. We are only united as a nation, but we are not united in support of William Ruto. So he's feeling that the country is not united. The country is united. There's nothing that William Ruto is uniting here. He's simply trying to unite other communities against the Mount Kenya region. And this is my point about that. First thing William Ruto has to know, it is that that tactic will not work. If it was to work, it was to work in 2013, where we had a president leaving power from the Mount Kenya region, then replaced by another president from the Mount Kenya region as well. But when Kenyans sat down and watched Raila Amolo Odinga and saw Uhuru Kenyatta, they said, we believe. They gave Uhuru Kenyatta the votes, despite being from the ICC. So if it didn't work that time, it won't work now. Where we have a poorly performing government, then you bring the issues to do with the tribe to not work. So the plan is to isolate Mount Kenya. However, Rigiji was able to see it early enough. So he knows very well that they want to isolate Mount Kenya. And this is how Mount Kenya will stop William Ruto. First, they bring on what you call a running mate. After bringing a running mate, then they are eyeing 20. Are you getting what I'm talking about here? A president will come in 2032, hit 2037, then a Kikuyu later on. And by then, who will be there? So in a nutshell, the fact is, the narrative of isolating Mount Kenya will not work. That's my analysis. It will not work on the basis that it will not be a choice of where do you come from. It will be a choice of, are you better than Ruto? Are you better than President William Ruto? So that is the choice. So the thing that President William Ruto should do at this point, it is to make himself better. But by abducting a lady of 61 years old in front of Kenyans, cameras and everyone else, then you tell us that is a president who wants to be elected in 2027? No, he's going to get votes from somewhere else, maybe Uganda or something. That one won't work. Now, President William Ruto, if you had the sentiments that were being made from Western Kenya, probably Western Kenya is going to produce a running mate. And the Kiniki is going to suffer a lot. If they produce a running mate from Western Kenya, who is this running mate? If it's not Natambea, then it's done. But William Ruto knows that the entire country is against him. Hapa kwa ground. Hata mama mzee anajua William Ruto has made things difficult for them. Things were hard during other times of Uhuru, but this time around, they'll be hard for some time. So therefore, the narrative of the issue to do with isolating Mount Kenya is impossible. You can't isolate Mount Kenya from the rest of the country. They are Kenyans, just like any other person. I call it wivu, because the Mount Kenya people, you can see right now everyone is talking about Mount Kenya. Because they are organizing themselves, they have projected themselves as a possible region to beat in 2027, while the rest of the country, they're being dismantled by President William Ruto. Look at Kisii here. A president comes on board. No, the community comes on board and says, Matiang'i is going to vie for presidency. Not just our community, Kisii, but all over the country, people asking for Matiang'i. Then Agusi MP Silvanus Osoro comes on board and says that Kisis are not ready yet to have a president. What? You see what is happening? President William Ruto has some people who are fighting within the community. They fight themselves. In Kisii, we have Osoro and Arati. Arati has now shifted to Matiang'i probably, and that means Osoro is going to be relevant. But the fact means that he raises people in every community so that they can hit each other. As a result, we have disunity. If he comes as a united, gets the votes. That's what President William Ruto does. But as we speak today here, the narrative of isolating Mount Kenya will not work because Kenyans are not against Mount Kenya. They are only against what you call poor leadership, poor governance. And that's basically what as a country you're fighting. Good governance. So therefore, the narrative of isolating Mount Kenya is not going to work. Now, probably his next journey will be somewhere else. Still talking about disunity, or talking about the people around him talking about giving speeches against Mount Kenya still. And Rigiji, as they do that, they instill pain in Mount Kenya more. And then Mount Kenya people will be able to register numbers and they'll be able to vote in large numbers. And if they do so, whoever they support will have almost 10 million votes strong. Zimesimama. Uhuru alipata almost 6 million from the House 70 in the repeat of election of 2017. Almost all the votes that came out were from that region because Raila Amolo Odinga's strongholds did not vote as such. Now alipata 7 million votes. And that means some did not vote because they kulikuwa na hiyo psyche. And that's how Uhuru became the president. So the fact remains very well that the idea of isolating Mount Kenya is not to work because they also have numbers. If you isolate Mount Kenya, bring a president from Kalenjin land, a deputy president from Luo Nyanza, or maybe from Western region, then another president comes up, maybe from the coast and from Kambani. Who will you go for if it were you? What will you do? And then the Mount Kenya produces another presidential candidate. They have their 10 million votes. And you've already divided the rest that were there. Kalonzo akisimama ni hivyo. Kalonzo akisimama ni hivyo. Because Kalonzo asimame for presidency. He has taken the Kamba votes and some from the coast region. Now, Kalonzo akisimama and then Ruto atabaki Kalenjin land na Western region na Luo Nyanza. Luo Nyanza, there are some who will vote for Kalonzo because they are supported Raila on many other occasions. So that means very well that already the votes that William Ruto banks on have been divided. So the Mount Kenya votes will still be intact. So whoever they will vote for, ama wakisimamisha president, that's the person who becomes the president in this country. So in a nutshell, you cannot isolate Mount Kenya completely from the Kenyan politics. If that's the plan President William Ruto is banking on for 2027, it won't work. Broad-based is not be broad-based against Mount Kenya. Why do you give them posts and then abuse them back? Why do you give them posts and then abuse them back? It can't work. If that's the narrative that's being used to tell people to vote from Western Kenya, it won't work. Western people have not been voting well. It's now they can decide to vote in a block and seriously come out to vote. Because the last time they voted, we had Kijana Omolo. Nobody has Mudavadi, Wetangula, they have not been able to marshal up votes in Western region and support someone. Because if they had the power, then they could have beaten Raila Amolo Odinga there. But Raila Amolo Odinga got more votes with Akino Parani. They didn't allow Mudavadi to give 30% to William Ruto. So therefore, isolating Mount Kenya will be difficult because of the critical role they play in the Kenyan police. I don't know what's your take. Let me see it on the comment section.